We are live back with a Thursday edition, December edition of your wildest fantasy football show. Are you like switching it up?
The Wi-Fi just stopped. There it is.
Ah, fair enough. It was a very interesting time to decide to change the background on your part. I was
I
like,
made my hat look too fuzzy. I said
Fair
I can't have a fuzzy hat.
yeah. Where did you? I have to say for the people, where did you get that? Where did you make your production expenses? Because it's nice to see you really make an investment in the
Mhm.
production value of your set.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to, really call out the big guns. I dipped into, everything I owned. We actually have no food in the house anymore, but at least we have this beautiful house to, record in.
In case anybody wants, well, yeah, it looks like you bought a new house with that look.
Yeah, we did. We got, the thing
Nice
right there.
fireplace.
We got the little counter with the shelves over here. Nice couch behind me.
I don't see a counter. Is there a counter? Is that a
Yeah,
little
there's-
island?
It's a little island over there, a little couch over here. Let me
The
just.
pine cones on the table are a nice touch.
Yeah, hey, if you're not going naturey, what are you going?
Yeah, it's just a pine guy. Yeah, so this is our Thursday edition of the show. We have to talk about tonight's game. We will talk about a few other games this week, and it's going to be a quick one because we're only going until 2 o'clock as your cup is partially invisible. This is production at its finest. It's probably a good thing we're moving back. If you didn't hear our announcement on Tuesday, we are not going to be doing 4 days a week. I'm not sure that Cody's camera could take it at this point.
No.
So that's really the main reason why we are making that switch. But stay on track and make sure that we get through some stuff today.
Yeah, a beautiful haircut though, Kondo.
Thank you. That is also a new part of the show.
We spent all the production money we had on your haircut. So.
On my haircut. Yeah, it's been
really
a
not
haircut,
my fault.
and then Cody's new mansion that he has in the background. Also a new cup. So maybe that was part of the budget as well.
Right.
We
it's all about
and you had to even cut your straws out. You couldn't even have a straw anymore.
Yeah, no, we lost them in transit. Hopefully find them. We got pine cones, lost everything else.
Yeah, I got a haircut. I was gonna shave the mustache too, but they told me you have to keep the mustache. Both the receptionist and
that is true. You have to.
My hairstylist said you got to keep it, so I said say less, and here we are, still intact.
Did she look at you funny for you being a grown man saying say less?
What do you mean? That's just how the kids speak nowadays. I try to stay in tune with my peers.
Your peers are all like 55, like
just checking on the gram, and keeping my personal business on the down low. Even though I just told you all about my my haircut. So
you did indeed. And
anyway, tonight we have football. Dallas at New Orleans. I didn't get the spreads up in time, so my bad for that one. I can read to you what they are. Dallas is favored by 6 points in this one. It's kind of big for how Dallas has been playing of late. Not necessarily the dominant Dallas Cowboys team that we saw earlier in the year.
Right.
The over-under in this one is 46, so I would say Vegas is not as confident that like this is going to be a barn burner game that the Cowboys were having earlier in the year. The Cowboys still averaging 29.6 points per game.
Right.
But this New Orleans defense has been known to keep some people in check too. Big fantasy storylines for this one start with the running backs. Zeke, Pollard, we don't really know how that situation is going to work out, although Jerry Jones tried to give us some big updates as far as that goes. I don't want to mess up his quote, so I'm going to try to look this up while lagging out a ton.
You definitely is a little bit on the laggy side,
Jerry Jones expects Zeke to carry a serious load against the Saints. And I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I know a lot about sports, like medical, like science. And it's
Correct.
funny because a lot of boxers do this as well. What they do to like boost testosterone levels is they don't like do anything before
They
the
don't do
event.
they don't do anything like what kind of like they
I
don't
don't
eat.
want to get like too graphic. This is a kid's show, but they don't do anything like so that when the
I'm
fight
lost.
comes or
I
the
don't know
day comes of the like event, they have all their testosterone because they haven't. I suppose they would also carry a serious load.
I guess I'm lost on what you're trying to say. Like, do they not shower? Like, what do they not do?
No, it's like a more of a like a release thing. They're not allowed to release because like they got to keep all the load
They
inside.
don't go to the bathroom. I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, close enough. And yeah, I think that's kind of what Jerry Jones is trying to hit on here. Is Zeke's gonna hold his serious load in for the game, and he's fine now. Like we don't even have to worry about him. Pollard is a thing of the past. We're fine with that, right?
You are. Me and Zeke. It's his knee, I believe. He also had an ankle problem a little while ago. Zeke has not been 100% healthy in a while. He just continues to get injuries, thrown onto him here. So, God, that is tough.
I don't know what 949's getting into. But
I don't know what he said there, but
no,
yeah, definitely
it's true.
big kid. Yeah, I'm not sure how comfortable I feel with Zeke if I'm like expecting a giant week from him. Like I said earlier on the week, I said he's a guy who I'm looking to sell just because of the injuries. You're not sure how productive he's going to be week in and week out, if he's even going to be able to play the whole game. It's been a couple weeks since he's been able to just stay in there for the majority of the time. He has to keep coming out. Pollard has to go in, tag team him out. It's just tough all around.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, Jerry Jones, he was right. Who did he say? He said Amari Cooper was going to play, and there was a time where it didn't look like Amari Cooper was going to play, and now it does look like Amari Cooper is going to play. So I would trust this a little bit more if it came from like Mike McCarthy or anybody who coaches on the team. It's coming from the owner. Not sure how much I totally trust that. So I'm a little bit more taking this as like a grain of salt. So you're starting Zeke if you have him, I think.
Right.
The question is, I guess you could say, like, would you start Zeke or Pollard? But I still feel like at the goal line, they're going to go to Zeke. Zeke has been practicing in full this whole week.
Mm-hmm.
I said earlier in the week, just with where the signs were pointing, that it might be Pollard over Zeke this week, but like he's practiced in full. There's been nothing that suggested like he's going to come out at the goal line so far this year. And I kind of like this is an offense we talked about scores a lot of points, scoring just shy of 30 points a game. Like I trust that touchdown volume or that like touchdown opportunity with Zeke more than I do with Pollard. And that's kind of where a lot of the upside is going to come from. It costs a touchdown is 60 yards rushing. So like I trust Zeke to hopefully have a higher chance of getting in the end zone than Pollard. And that kind of making his day pretty even to Pollard if Pollard is to not score.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just a little scary if you are a Zeke owner just because of the injuries. But you're starting Zeke unless something crazy happens between now and 8 o'clock. You're not starting Pollard over Zeke. So
yeah. On the other side of things, Alvin Kamara out for this game. It does seem promising as to that he is going to come back sooner than later. Thursday game probably did not help him out any.
Mhm.
Mark Ingram looks like he is going to be out there for this one. I would say you're starting Mark Ingram, like, for sure. He was productive both times that you played him, or both times that he has played for the Saints so far. He had 18.8 and 12.3, and that's I'm looking that up on my phone, so that's my half PPR league. So he put up more than both of those things. Very encouraging to be able to start him and feel pretty confident about it.
I'm not like uber confident just because we do see that the running back position suffers a little bit with Taysom Hill at the reins, and Taysom Hill will be the quarterback for this game. There is no Michael Thomas to take the pressure off of the backfield because if we're being frank, Smith, Harris, Callaway, Humphrey, they are not scaring any teams this year. So the pass game is definitely on the back burner in terms of like what the defense is focused on. With Taysom Hill back there, you know he likes to just take the ball and run it. A lot of QB sneaks. Um, doesn't do that many checkdowns. So really, Mark Ingram, you're kind of banking on a touchdown for him. Dallas is sixth in terms of fantasy points to a running back. Because I don't think Mark Ingram's going to run it for 120 yards. And he's probably not going to get that many catches out the backfield. So you're not looking for a great day for Mark Ingram. I mean, you're looking for it, but you're not going to get it probably. Just based off the track record that Taysom Hill has with running backs.
I think he's a fine option. I trust Taysom to be fairly successful. And I don't think it's going to completely kill the running backs. Like, when it was Kamara, like, he was averaging like low tens, which is like, I get that it's Alvin Kamara, but like that's not that bad. And it was a 4-game stretch. So I'm not like too worried about it.
This is playoff time though, where you're looking for more than 10 points from
Yeah, but
your
like
star players.
who I guess the question would be like, how far are you downgrading him that it's like a shocking person that you're starting over him?
I guess me and you have different like expectations for different players, but if my options is Gaskins or Mark Ingram, I'm starting
Yeah,
Gaskins
I'm starting
happily.
Gaskin.
I mean, I don't know if I'm going.
I think.
I don't know if I'm going Hillard. Well, I mean, Gaskins is playing the Giants. They should barn burn him, and he should get some garbage time touches to help boost his day.
We'll talk about it. That's one of the next ones.
I don't know if I'm going to go Hillard and Foreman over Mark Ingram, but
I
feel
hope
like,
not.
well, I think they're going to go right around each other, though. That's the problem. Like, I'm not expecting Mark Ingram to be head and shoulders above these guys.
I expect him to score a good amount of points more than I guarantee he scores more points than Hilliard and Foreman this week.
I mean, I think it's going to be close. I don't think.
Do you want to do a bet?
No, Ingram's going to score more, but he's saying he's going to be leaps and bounds above these guys. I'm saying these guys are going to. All right, I'm saying these guys are going to get 10 and 11 points each.
I will make a bet that
Hilliard and Foreman.
Hilliard and Foreman.
This guy's going to get like 18, 19, 20 points. Mark Ingram's getting 20 points is what you're saying.
I will make a bet that Foreman nor Hilliard score 10 points this week. I'd even make that 8 points this week.
I'll do that bet happily.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that one's
you are just down on him.
Do you want to shake on it? Okay. Yeah. So, kind of on the topic Taysom Hill, are you starting Taysom Hill in a streaming opportunity this week if you have the option to?
I mean, I think a lot of people will have the option to. It's Taysom Hill. When he rostered in 30% of leagues, you can. He's a mobile quarterback, which definitely he could have a terrible real football day and still have a viable fantasy day. Just being a mobile quarterback. I don't know if I'm confidently starting him, but again, you'd have to look at your team, but I'm not like happy about it if I'm going to I'm not picking him up for any of my leagues. I'd rather go with Tyrod or Carson or someone like that.
I'm definitely
Yeah.
starting him over Ryan Tannehill this week. I'm all out on the Titans this week. All out.
I see that. I don't, that's weird. Like you're like the number one, you know, Tennessee fan.
I'm definitely not a Tennessee fan. I don't think that I am a Colts fan, but I don't think that bias has anything to do with it. It's a tough matchup for him this week.
Dude, they're not even playing.
Moving on. We have
Just so everyone knows, they're not playing. Tennessee's not playing this week.
Is there any
It's all been jokes. Sorry, everyone.
Is there any other
Oh,
thing you want to talk about this game?
No, I just said Ingram and Hill are iffy starts for New Orleans. I hope people got the joke, Kondo. I hope.
I don't know that I got the joke.
Oh, I thought we were trying to be less mean and just more like funny. So I felt like it'd be funny to, pick people who are on bye this week. But my bad, Kondo. My bad, Kondo.
I don't know if I believe that.
Okay.
I
wrote down.
I would like to know from the audience. Do they think that Cody was just doing a heck of an acting job there, or do we think that he actually forgot that Tennessee had the bye? Are we interested to hear what people have to say?
Oh, I'm always open. I do have every game pulled up right now, so I can also I can't screen share, but if I could, I would.
Anyway, we have the Giants at Miami. Miami, decent favorites in this one, probably because another game with a quarterback change in place. Possibly Daniel Jones, very up in the air whether he is going to play or not. That's a really funny response.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know what that was. But don't really know what Daniel Jones is going to do, if he's going to play or not.
He's not going to play.
Apparently Cody says he's not going to play. I don't know if this is a joke or if this is serious, but I guess only time will tell. We did get one good news thing today, and that's that Sterling Shepard was practicing today. We will see whether that materializes into him playing or not later in the week. My question is, I think if he does play, you're starting him, especially if Daniel Jones goes. If Daniel Jones doesn't go, would you start Sterling Shepard?
Yes, for both. Danny Dimes, it's a neck injury, so not the most mobility comes when you can't move your neck. So I think, it's just tough. So
That's
really,
how you move your neck if you
so you just kind of if Danny Dimes is going to be the guy, I feel like it's going to be a lot of one look, either check downs or just chuck it to the first guy that you look at to save your neck a lot of excess pain. Sterling Shepard or Saquon's going to be that guy. So he's going to get some targets. Mike Glennon is the backup. So, hopefully Sterling's just been buttering him up all week and being like, hey, if you start, throw to me, dude. 25 targets or break the record.
If Danny Dimes is to go, I would put a healthy Shepard out there. And
especially against Miami.
And Saquon. Miami defense has been decent over the last few games. They've allowed 17 points or fewer in the last 4. So they've kind of come around a bit.
The real defense has been tough. For fantasy, though, the wide receivers, 30th in terms of points to the wide receivers. So Sterling Shepard is in for a good day if healthy. Same with Galladay.
If Glennon is to go, I'm less convinced that Shepard would be productive if he does play. I think he'd be fine, safe floor, but I don't think he would be anything. I'm not as confident in the volume for sure going his way of a 9 to 12 target day. So that's kind of where I am a little bit different. I definitely raise a little bit more concern for Saquon if Danny Dimes is out, because then there's really any little threat in the passing game is taken away, and they can really just focus on Saquon. So that's about it. One thing I did want to bring up, I know that you talked about Evan Ingram earlier in the week,
Yes.
and Kyle Rudolph might not play in this one. If he is out, I think I would be fine with streaming Evan Ingram in this.
I'm not against it. Although I feel like at this point, if you have a tight end who you've just been like, who's on your roster, I feel like you're more than likely just playing him. But like looking through some of my leagues, people are just hard set on, their 12th and 15th ranked tight end. Don't want to upgrade at the position. So not many people will, but I feel like you could start Evan Ingram just because if Mike Glennon is to play and be the starter, short passes are probably going to be the key to this game, at least for the offensive standpoint. Keep the playbook simple, short passes, short routes. Evan Ingram can benefit from that and get some gimme targets,
Agreed. I would not mind, especially if Sterling Shepard is out.
Right.
He would be a streaming target for me. As you know, I'm on the James O'Shaughnessy train, so he won't be starting for me. But
that's true.
If you're in a league where someone was genius and picked up James O'Shaughnessy, then I would suggest Evan Ingram maybe as a next best after that. On the Dolphins side, I feel like it's our kind of usual suspects there.
I just said start the top guy at every position, i.e. being Tua, Waddle, Gaskins, Gesicki. Start their kicker, start their defense. I feel like every single position this week, their number one guy has a chance to finish inside the top 12, or at least the top 24 for sure for Gaskin and Waddle. But Gesicki's going to finish as top 12 guy. Tua, top 12 guy. Sanders should, just because I feel like the Giants might have a couple of drives where they do keep him outside the 20, but chip shot field goal. And Dolphins defense against a banged up Giants team. I mean, like you said, their defense is getting better the past couple weeks. So give me their number one guy at every position.
I am also intrigued. Maybe you don't want to play him this week, but someone to pick up. I think he's available in 40 or 55% of leagues. Devontae Parker. Flores said yesterday that he is set to resume practicing. He has 7+ targets in every single game this year. He has 3 games over 10 points, 3 of his 5 over 10 points, and 4 catches in every single game. So someone that definitely should be on rosters at least and may become like a solid starter for you when you need it. Like if an injury happens, come playoff time, you might need someone to just be a solid floor player for you. And I think Devontae Parker might get the target share to do that. Going on to Indy at Houston, obviously setting up for a big Jonathan Taylor game. Yep. You say that this could be a big Carson Wentz game.
I said Carson Wentz could have a good day just because it's Houston. I know Jonathan Taylor is a very talented athlete. Jonathan Taylor can be very explosive if given the opportunity. The Colts are very crafty in the way that they utilize and manipulate the rules to their advantage. So they could definitely, steal some points that way. But I think Houston.
What does that mean? I know you say that Carson Wentz ducked one time, and that's
so it's not one time. I gave you one example of a certain play that he did do it. He's done it multiple times. But if you leave with the
doesn't everyone do that? Like
no, not even close.
I saw Russ do that last week.
When?
Monday Night Football.
When he was in the pocket?
Yeah.
Or when he was taken off and he just puts his head down coming at a defender. Anyway, the thing I kind of was talking about is how Carson Wentz, I told him that he ducked and led with his head, because if a defender hits you in the head, it's an automatic first down. So utilization of the rules. Also, when you go over the top, like
Which is
Jonathan
smart,
Taylor
by the
did,
way.
like I said, it's a utilization of manipulating the rules is what I said. But anyway, I think Carson could have a couple. I think he's going to need like 2 or 3 drives of like really airing the ball out, maybe hitting Jonathan Taylor in a couple slip screens like they've done a lot this year, and let Jonathan Taylor just be able to get outside the pocket quickly, and then Carson just dishes it for an easy 60-yard touchdown, which would just boost his numbers. I think it's a good week, especially after we saw a lot of big name guys last week just suffer, and like a lot of big name quarterbacks. I think Tom, Lamar, then Jalen Hurts, I think, struggled. I mean, a lot of guys got to underneath 10 points last week. So I think Carson has a chance to get you at least like 15 to 20, secure you like a nice solid floor if you are streaming quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind him as a streamer.
I mean, you're not dropping Tom Brady to start Carson Wentz. You're not
No.
dropping any of the guys above him. But if you're streaming quarterbacks or you had, if you were sadly starting Ryan Tannehill, then maybe you should start Carson Wentz this week.
Someone said something crazy to me, and like
Probably.
they were thinking about starting TY, which seems risky, but we talked about the last time that the Colts played against Houston, and TY just like eats against them. Like it just happens every time. And
4 for 4,
it was
80
his
yards.
first game back, and he went 4 for 4 catches on 4 targets and 80 yards. So like if you wanted to start TY because you got a little bit of a wild streak in you, I can't say not to because he just goes off against Texans.
Right.
And I also think that it's going to be a decent like Pittman game too. So like I can't say that I'm completely out on Carson because I kind of believe in TY, and then I like sincerely believe in Pittman to come back and have a good game. I think one of the things that some people may be talking about is the Jack Doyle game. I don't know if a lot of people are going to be talking about it, but some people might be talking about it. He is projected for 8.4 this week. I think we can say that was pretty much like just a flash in the pan thing. One hit wonder for, say, maybe an Asher Roth, I Love College. It was good for a week. It was a good anthem, stuck in your head, but don't let it really make you think that Jack Doyle is going to be the tight end you want on your team.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Doyle, he also didn't practice Wednesday with a knee injury. Jack Doyle also has more games underneath 1.5 points this year than he does above 10. So he has a 13.4 and 20.1 coming last week, obviously. He's not the most explosive tight end, not a guy I'm looking to target. You can definitely pick up better options for sure. And they shouldn't have to throw a whole lot. I think Carson is going to get some easy give me's with Jonathan Taylor is kind of where I'm expecting this game to go.
On to, Houston, another person who's projected fairly well that may confuse me as well as you. Rex Burkhead is projected for 11 points on ESPN, full point PPR.
That's ridiculous, man.
Are you? Well, I guess that kind of answers the question of whether you're playing Rex Burkhead or not.
No. So in a couple of leagues I'm in, I've been getting told by people that they're very confident in starting Sexy Rexy. Don't get me wrong, huge Sexy Rexy fan in real life. But for fantasy football, there's going to be teams that are going to be in closer competition this week. There's going to be teams that have more explosive offenses than the Houston Texans. And that aren't going to be playing a team that's top 8 in terms of, minimizing points to the running back. So there's a lot of better options out there. Give me one of the Jets guys, either Ty Johnson or Coleman. Give me the Denver guys. Give me really anyone else besides Sexy Rex this week. I think he is a good player in real football. Definitely a handyman guy. Great team builder, but not a guy who I want to start this week, especially against Indy. which is really good against a run. I think it's going to be a big Brandon Cooks game. If Cooks does play, he's dealing with an illness, but he should be playing.
Yeah, I think I would take my chances with like even an Alex Collins, Tevin Coleman over him. And those are guys that I don't want to play either, but I would rather have them than Rex Burkhead. Rex Burkhead is running for 2.6 yards per carry. I don't know that that's all Rex Burkhead. None of these running backs in Houston have been particularly efficient. So I'm trying to stay away from that backfield at kind of all costs, even Tevin Coleman in the Jets backfield. Great transition because we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions next. That was a joke. Minnesota favored in this game.
That was worse than my joke.
What was that?
That was worse than my joke because I feel like you meant this. Like you just really like throwing shade on my Detroit Lions here.
You're Detroit Lions. You're Minnesota Vikings.
I'm a big Vikings guy. I just, give Dan Campbell some love.
Okay.
It's not his fault.
I think this is a pro Dan Campbell show. I've always been a big Dan Campbell guy.
Yeah, I think we just pick on the Lions too much, though. Not enough, but like
we don't. Society does.
Society does. I tried to defend him. I tried to defend Dan. Puts his heart and soul out there. But that being said, Minnesota's going to win this game. So sorry, Dan. I mean, good luck next time, but not against my Vikings, baby.
It's the battle of the top waiver running back fill-ins. No Dalvin, no DeAndre Swift.
Correct.
So we have Alexander Mattison, who I think goes into this week as a top 12 running back.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jamal Williams, who I would say is more in that running back 2 conversation. He probably is set up to get a lot of touches. If you look at kind of what Swift was getting and what he got last week, they were in the game last week for a long period of it. So he got 20 carries. But I kind of expect him to get around like 17 to 20 touches. And that in itself is valuable for a running back, unless perhaps you're Rex Burkhead on the Texans.
Right. I think, so being frank, I mean, Minnesota is not a scary defense this year. We are a scary defense when healthy, but we have not played even a quarter with the whole team healthy. So it's kind of bummer. But with this banged up Vikings defense, I think Jamal Williams is going to be in for a good day. If you look at the games that the Lions have played, they're not losing by a lot. Like, not all the time. Like, it's not like always a big blowout loss for them. Last time they played Minnesota, they only let up 19 points, and I think it came down to a last-second field goal that we were able to win by. So it's a close game, so they're not exactly going to have to, like, just abandon the run game and just throw it the entire time. I think Jamal is going to get some valuable touches here. So, yeah, I'm okay with starting Jamal. Hawkinsocks, love him. But besides that, I don't really know who I'm trusting from Detroit.
Yeah, agreed. I think the answer is nobody. You're not trusting anybody else from the Lions. And Minnesota, it's pretty like consistent to what we've said all year. So I feel like there's not really that much more to talk about with this one.
No, this one, barn burner. Oh, geez.
Going to the next one, there's a lot to talk about. Arizona at Chicago.
I
mean, Arizona's headliner tandem is coming back, it seems, with Kyler and DHop practicing. Now, I think a lot of people, including maybe myself for a little bit, have forgotten about like what we were getting from DHop before he was. And I think the argument could be made, was it before he was hurt, or was he hurt but still playing? DHop wasn't as productive as like years past. He wasn't seeing, I would say, the volume that he was seeing in years past. Had a lot of touchdowns that kind of rose his numbers up a little bit, but for a lot of the time that he was in, we were saying like, maybe if you can get like a better wide receiver 1, you're trying to trade him. He still is DHop, and that still has value in itself. But what are your expectations with Kyler back and with DeAndre Hopkins back?
DHop is a very valuable wide receiver to a real football team. fantasy-wise, he's produced well, but he just needs the touchdowns to kind of give you that, 15-plus point performance that you're kind of hoping for. I have a lot of faith in Kyler. I think if he is back, Kyler was just on a tear when he was healthy. I mean, starting off the season back-to-back 30-point weeks. I mean, I don't expect him to do that, but I do expect him to hit 15 plus, probably a low 20 game. Chicago is not a scary team, just is what it is. So I really expect them to just kind of use it as a preseason game and just get the two of them back, back into the groove of it to play again. Because as we've been able to see, James Conner can carry the team by himself. With a no Kyler, no DHop, he's still just putting up monster numbers. So if all else fails and Kyler can't throw and DHop can't catch, you just give it back to James Conner and let him do what he's been doing for the past couple of weeks. But I have high hopes for Kyler. James Conner kind of loses a little bit of value for me just because this is the best stretch of games that we've been seeing from him was when Kyler was out, when DHop was out. Before that, he wasn't really doing a whole bunch. I mean, granted, he also had, to split the touches back there, but I'm not sure. I think it's a middle ground. I don't think he drops those 40, 20-point games, but I definitely see him getting double digits for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think we differ on Connor a little bit here. I feel like this could be a really big game for him. I like having Kyler back because if you look at Kyler's rushing numbers this year, they haven't been necessarily what we've expected from him. He has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of his games with 20 or less, and one of the ones that doesn't count there is a 21-yard game. So I don't know. I don't feel like Kyler takes too much away in the rushing game. And I think having Kyler and having DHop makes this offense move as well as anything. So it kind of brings back where he could have those 2 touchdown games, and it wouldn't shock anybody. I like James Conner this week, even though it's not necessarily the best matchup. I guess the Bears are pretty banged up, so that makes it a little bit better.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm big on the James Conner train this week. You're starting DHop, you're starting Kyler, obviously. I don't think they're going to have their best week this week just because of the matchup and because I would say we both expect them to win this game pretty handily.
Right.
But I think they're fine for starting and well worth starting because they're Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins.
I think a note for this Arizona team is that everyone is touchdown dependent because they have so many people and, pieces on this team. Looking through James Conner's games this year, if he doesn't have a touchdown, he's not getting you double digits. He's not the most prolific runner. 21 attempts, 62 yards, and a touchdown. The touchdown saved his day, even though he got 21 carries on the ground and 6 targets through the air. He's not the most prolific guy out there. That's why I said temper your expectations for him. People also forget that they have Kirk, Moore, Green, and Zach Ertz all on the offensive side of the ball, who all are already downfield and are going to be wide open because you just can't cover every single one of them play in and play out. So, tamper expectations for James Conner. If he gets a touchdown, he saves his week. But if he doesn't get a touchdown, sort of like a DeAndre Hopkins, DeAndre, 2 games without a touch. He has 3 games without a touchdown, only one of them over double digits. So he's also touchdown dependent. That's why I said almost everyone on this team kind of is. This is where I tamper expectations because I don't think that Arizona is going to be putting up stats this game. I think they're just going to go out there and try to get everyone back acclimated to play with each other. I don't think they're going to go out there and try to drop 40 on the Chicago Bears, who are going to drop maybe a grand total of 3 points this game.
I mean, I do agree that James Conner is touchdown dependent, but looking at it, he has 3 games of 11 without a touchdown. So, like, it's a better bet that he gets in the end zone than he doesn't. That's kind of the thing that draws me to him is, like, how good this offense is and how likely it is that he's, like, who's more likely to score a touchdown this year than James Conner? Like, there aren't many people since Derrick Henry went down that you
But
could
this was also without, like, James Conner has the Jacksonville game, the Raiders game, and that's, like, kinda it for, like, great games with Chase Edmonds and Kyler and DHop all playing. He's the last 3 weeks of
Rams
I
game,
said
you mean?
I said yeah, sorry. Did I say Chargers? My bad. Rams. The
You said
last
Raiders, but we
Oh,
got it.
yeah,
We got
good,
it
good,
down.
good. But, the last 3 games that he had, the 40, the 15, and the 20, that was out Chase Edmonds, Kyler, and D-Hop. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying kinda tamper your expectations down. I think he can get double digits if he scores, but even in those games, he got 10.7 with a touchdown, 12.4 with a touchdown,
Yeah.
14.2 with 2 touchdowns. So
I'm
15.4 with a touchdown.
And
So
most of
again
the time, I'm saying most of the time that would worry me, but it
mhm,
doesn't when he scored a touchdown in 8 of 11. Like, it just we talk about touchdowns, and I think I said this on Tuesday. Touchdowns are often, like, the toughest thing to predict, like, they're not the most consistent thing. With James Conner,
mhm,
they've been pretty consistent, so that's when I
mhm.
think I can factor that in to how I think that he's going to perform.
Right.
Now
I think he's scoring this game just because of the competition in Chicago, but I don't I'm not expecting great things to come from James. I'm not expecting 20-point bombs or
Agreed.
like
Like, I
these
think
sort
this
of things.
week could be one of those, as they start to get like, as they get Edmonds back, um, I think that that could change, and in games where they have to score more points, just keep up with better offenses. As for the Chicago side, it's Darnell Mooney, like, Darnell Mooney, maybe Cole Kmet if you're streaming at tight end, like, that's really all that I am looking at.
We are very vastly different on that game. I said David Montgomery is the only one who
Oh,
doesn't
Dave
scare
Montgomery
me.
too, jeez.
I said Dave Montgomery is the only one who doesn't scare me. You have an injured Justin Fields out there. Uh, I don't trust Mooney, Robinson, or Komet as much as I want to. They have all those guys are very talented, but when you're handicapped by the guy who's trying to deliver you the football, it doesn't matter how talented you are if the ball doesn't get to your general vicinity. It doesn't lead to good fantasy production. So I'm just a little bit more hesitant with starting these guys. Arizona is also top 10 in terms of points to or holding these positions to under not a good fantasy week. I can't figure out how to say that. Um, Bad catch day, good defense day.
Yeah, I think Mooney will do fine because they're gonna have to keep up. Like, that's kind of the plan that I think we both think it's like the Cardinals are going to take a lead
Mhm.
in this game, and
They will.
the Bears are gonna have to score points to make this a click to try to compete.
I
So
don't think they can though. Like I really don't. Like I don't see them scoring that much. And I mean Mooney doesn't he has a couple games this year without a touchdown where he still got double digits. But I'm a little bit hesitant with him just because I think, you know, Arizona is a tough team. Justin Fields is at 100%. You have Dave Montgomery out the backfield. I think it's going to be a bigger David day for sure. I think Mooney can get you between 8 to 12, but I'm not super happy with a guy like that.
would you
Um,
rather start Mooney or Higgins?
hmm. Bengals are playing the Chargers. That's going to be a real shootout. I'd go Higgins just because Higgins has been on a tear as of late. I mean, and it's a better offense, better quarterback, better. I'd like to say better running back with Joe Mixon over Dave Montgomery. I don't think that's a
I'd
crazy
probably say that
statement.
too.
He's also not even the number one on his own team because Jamar Chase has been on a tear in his rookie season earlier on. So much easier path to success for that game.
I would probably go Mooney, but I think it's very close for me. Devontae Smith or Darnell Mooney.
That's a tough one.
Devontae Smith playing the Jets.
Benny and the Jets. I don't know. Maybe Mooney, but not by a lot. Just because
I think I would go Devontae Smith.
Smith is sick, so I guess that's just kind of why I'm going with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Smith more as the player, and I think Jalen Hurts is the much better quarterback. So, but all of them are sick and injured, so it doesn't matter what I think.
I had a good transition to the Jets, but now this is a really good transition to the Eagles. So I'm glad that we waited for this game to come.
What was your Jets one? I'd love to hear the Jets one.
We'll see if Jalen Hurts plays in this one. It looks like he is going to play in this one, and that would obviously, I think, be a boost for Devontae Smith, but I also don't know because, if he doesn't go, then it's Gardner Minshew, and he's not going to be running around for 70 yards.
Exactly.
So I think that it's fine for Devontae Smith either way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of injuries for the Eagles on top of Hurts in the backfield. So Sanders was limited on Wednesday, which was, I would say, a good sign for him sitting out the fourth quarter of the last game. So I was kind of right because I still think that he should have more than 9 carries going into the fourth quarter. Boston Scott was out with an illness.
Yep.
Jordan Howard out as well.
Yep.
For practice. So I'm still blindly, maybe against my better judgment, starting Miles Sanders. It's the Jets. You gotta play the matchup game there. But I'm still starting and wincing a bit just because it seems like the Eagles thoroughly do not like giving him the ball that much.
Yeah, I know I'm not going to personally start Miles Sanders in any of my leagues, but I don't blame you if you do, just because it's the Jets. Philly should be up. And the Jets are dead last in terms of fantasy points allowed to the running back. And if Boston Scott isn't going to play, that's just one less head out of the backfield that needs to eat. So he could be in for a good day. He's been explosive. Miles Sanders has been explosive when running the ball. I'm not sure if that's scheme or him or a little bit of both. Obviously it's a little bit of both. I guess it's not, it'd be him if he was carrying people for, 5 yards a carry after getting hit in the backfield, but it's not all him.
But he might be. We have to watch the tape.
It's not. I watched the tape. I watched the games. He is a good runner, but again, with you, they don't like to give him the ball. So it's why risk it if you're going to start him,
I just have been a big Miles Sanders believer. I have a couple quick ones that I could ask. The Denver backfield, either of the Denver backs against Kansas City or Miles Sanders.
Give me Williams over Miles Sanders. Gordon he's got the hip and shoulder. He won't practice today. So I think it's just going to be Williams back there anyway. So give me the guy who's going to have the lone work back there versus the guy who is going to be fighting for targets on his own team of people sick and injured. So
yeah, if Javonte is out there by himself, I'm going Javonte. If they are both healthy, I'm going Miles Sanders over both of them.
He didn't practice on Thursday.
Interesting. That is something.
Oh, well, I did just say that. I said Melvin Gordon did not practice on Thursday.
Yeah, that is something to keep
you said
monitoring.
That's a big indicator. So
keep monitoring coming into the weekend. I don't think I would say it's pretty obvious that you're starting him over both of the New England backs, right? Playing against Buffalo.
Yeah, I would. I think Harris is a worthy option. I think you can definitely make the choice to start Harris over it, but again, your call. It's not a head and shoulders call.
Fair enough. As for the Jets, I don't know how big, but I know you are a Tevin Coleman guy.
I'm a Tevin Coleman guy.
You sounded like you were at an AA meeting when you said that.
Sorry, I was
I am. My name is
I am.
Toady Humphrey, and I am a Tevin Coleman guy.
Thank you. I am. I mean, Philly is 24th in terms of points to the running back. Tevin Coleman's not like a slouch. And also, who are they going to give the ball to? Is kind of another worry that I have on this team. Zach Wilson is healthy. I mean, maybe not like all the way, but like at least on ESPN, he's not listed as injured, but like in real life, he's probably injured. Maybe a concussion or something. Just not a good quarterback this year. Got to look into it for his sake, not just mine. So Elijah Moore isn't like the most. He's not going to be the most open guy. Philly's also just been insanely good in shutting down wide receivers this year. So give me Coleman because the run game has been Philly's weak spot. So yeah, give me Coleman.
I mean, I guess it depends on your like. I really don't want to start Tevin Coleman. Like I said, if your option was who were we talking about? Rex Burkhead.
Sexy Rexy.
Give me Tevin Coleman. But I guess in that case, I would also be a Tevin Coleman guy. But
you're a big Tevin Coleman guy.
Not in many instances.
You're a big Tevin Coleman guy. You just don't like to admit it. I don't know why.
Maybe that's what it is. But
so if we're looking at the Jets' upcoming schedule, Tevin Coleman is an interesting guy because Carter's out. Is what it is. He's out. He's gone. Finite. Okay. They're playing.
Well, not finite. He's coming back.
Not this year, hon.
What do you mean not this year?
No, I said so. I'm the owner.
Why? It sounds like you're wishing ill will on.
I want Carter to be as healthy as possible. I don't think it's good for him to come back, you know.
Well, as long as you don't think it's good for him, then
yeah. I mean, it's not good for him to come back behind this line here. But anyway, they're playing Philly this week, whose weak spot has been the run. Then they're playing the Saints. Teams have been able to run on the Saints, but it's iffy. And they're playing Miami and Jacksonville, both teams you can run on. And then, they're playing Tampa Bay, but Carter, I think, might come back for that game just to spite me. So it's just going to be a down Carter game. Coleman's going to get to start week 18.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to start Tevin Coleman, but if things are not ideal for you and you have to start Tevin Coleman, there's probably some people that I would say that that's okay over. Like an Alex Collins over Tevin Coleman conversation, I think is like a close one. And I still think I might go like Collins, so it's probably not the best sign for my feelings about Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, it's not. Do you want to?
I still believe in Elijah Moore, though. I do, like, to an extent.
I was way happier when Zach Wilson was not the starter. For the
I'm sure Elijah Moore was as well.
Elijah Moore was definitely way happier just based off of fantasy numbers. Zach Wilson's kind of handicapping Elijah Moore a little bit.
We got to think of another word other than handicapping.
It's the best way to describe it because it doesn't beat around the bush. Like, if I wear glasses, I'm handicapped without them. My glasses.
This segment's brought to you by it's not brought to you by Manscaped. We don't beat around any bushes. But I would love, maybe that's like an opportunity for Manscaped. Anyway,
Manscaped, hit us up.
Yeah.
Send me a text. Yeah. I'll answer day or night.
We won't beat around the bush. We won't have a bush to beat around. Exactly.
Not if Manscaped sponsors this episode. Should we wrap it up here? I know you got to go. We can answer questions.
We can. I do want to just say quickly, Elijah Moore, target volume is still there last week. He still had 8 targets. I'm fine with it. Like, a couple names. Like, depending on what you need, if you want a more safe option, I would probably rather play him over Mike Williams for floor. I think I would rather play him than like him versus Amari Cooper is a really close call to me, in my mind.
Amari Cooper is it's interesting. It's a Thursday night game. They tend to be a little bit better. So It's close. I won't fault you either way. Elijah Moore does get target value, quality production from second taker.
Yeah,
Sure.
Dodie, can we get you back
Mhm.
in the mansion for this for the questions?
Yeah. Let me just move real quick. There it is.
There we go. Back in the living room. Trying to pick between Van Jefferson, Miles Sanders, or Boston Scott. Need to make the playoffs.
I mean, Van Jefferson probably my guy.
It's interesting, Tody.
Miles Sanders and Boston Scott share the workload. Van Jefferson shares the workload, but with OBJ injured, this is going to be the game for him to shine, especially against Cincinnati, where they're going to have to throw the ball, keep the game interesting.
I'm not sure how much Van Jefferson's role changes. Like I mean, we talked about it extensively.
You're a firm believer that Van Jefferson is better than OBJ. You're a firm believer.
I did not say that. But yeah, I mean, depending on the status of Odell, I can't blame you for going with Van Jefferson, but I think that Odell is going to play personally, and I think I'd still go Miles Sanders. I might be dumb for sticking with him for so long, stubbornly.
A little bit, my man.
But it's the Jets. Like that's really what keeps it. Keeps the belief there, and as long as he is healthy going into the weekend, I'm sticking with Miles Sanders out of those options. 9:49. If you were starting any Giants, give up.
That is true. Low ball every single Saquon owner that you can.
It's a hot take right here. Booker is better than Barkley with his injuries. Just shut down Barkley.
Honestly, it sounds like you're concerned for Saquon's health, and for that reason, I don't think I can argue with you.
No, I think it's honorable.
I'm all about health on this show. Health of the team, health of the fans.
Cade, Gage, or Marvin Jones?
Let's Marvin Gaye get it.
Probably Gage.
Yeah, I go with Gage.
I mean, I think at that point, you're not like upside is going to be very tough to come by. So I'd rather just rely on the seemingly safer option of the two anyway, and go with Russell Gage. A lot of Vikings talk from 9:49. Vikings have had the same defense for 10 years. Also, why the heck did they build a dome? That hurts their advantage practicing up there in Minnesota. Tody, any response?
Our defensive scheme might be the same. The players change. They're just, it's part of the game. I think we have the dome up there just so. I think we put the dome there just because our fans, the players, we're not full of hot air. If we were, the dome would float, be a hot air balloon. Notice how there's certain teams who don't have a dome because they're just full of shit, full of hot air, so to speak. Dome would float. Safety hazard. Can't do it. Vikings, said and true.
You do have Kirk Cousins lining up on the wrong guy. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so like I said probably 1,000 times in this show, Kirk is not our quarterback.
From a literal standpoint, he is.
No, he plays for the defense week in and week out, and it's just atrocious. Sad to see, really, that we haven't stopped it. That the fans have to complain about it week in and week out. But yeah, I've noticed that he likes to just touch the guards more than the center. But it is what it is,
I think that's honestly just seemed like he was trying to outsmart his opponent, and I kind of respect that.
I almost
kind of making them take a little second to think.
I almost thought we were in the wild
lined up on behind the guard, and just give him something else to think about.
Yeah, I thought we were in the Wildcat for a second, but we weren't. We weren't in the Wildcat at all. We were actually supposed to hike the ball, make a play, throw the ball at Justin Jefferson, get a touchdown. But hey, Kirk, it's all behind us, bud. Just like
Jamal
a good
Williams
game.
or Michelle-Henderson, whoever starts. I would go Henderson if Henderson starts, and then if he does not, I would go Jamal Williams.
I'd go Jamal over both. Um,
Henderson got a lot of work last week, and I was very encouraged.
I mean, they are playing the Jags, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, maybe Henderson, just because I think they're going to be up and they're going to get some garbage time touches. So give me whoever the starter is for them.
Apparently the delay is long. I don't know what.
I don't know. I didn't know we had a delay. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't even know we had one. So that is good information to know. If there's any more information you can give us on that, the Zombie King, please let us know in the chat. Thank you.
Seems like a suck up right there. I don't know.
I mean, he's moving up the power rankings for sure.
Maybe some insider trading going on between these.
I would say if anyone was asking where the power rankings stand right now,
I know exactly.
They might want to know because
let's do a quick top three. Let's do a quick top three. Your top three, my top three. Here we go.
Well, I don't want to do top three because we're leaving everyone around.
Top three all time. Top three all time.
Second Take Extra, I think still holds number one for me.
Second Take Extra is my number one. Then Serial Killer, and then 9er49. Just because 9er49 has just really been dishing out some questions today. You know, some knowledge I hadn't heard of. Definitely the insight.
Honestly, yeah, like that.
Very helpful. Hey, see, this is the information I need.
Yeah, that's the info that we need.
I didn't know. I thought they were just being constipated for 2 weeks before their fight.
And then I think Jake 40, the haircut moves him up probably to number. No, I'd say he's probably number 3. Serial Killer is number 2 for me.
Serial Killer's got to be. You know, it's a close 1A, 1B for me, but
9er49
he's right. He's right. Kenny's right. You know,
if we start getting some frickins instead of full F bombs, 9er49 is going to jump up real quick.
Yeah.
and there's strong debate between Jake and 40.
I think we should just put that one up there just so everyone can see the fight
going after.
Wait, they can't see each other.
9er40. I mean, they can see the chat.
No, because they're on different things, right?
Oh, that's true.
So
maybe not.
You have to orchestrate this for them.
Yeah, maybe we need to connect.
You talk with your mother. You have that mouth. 9er49 question.
Well, I mean, he must be able to see it because how would he know? I guess if it was on the screen.
We put it on the screen the whole time.
Yeah. Apparently, we just addressed. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the delay.
We're sorry about that.
We may need to talk to our IT team, meaning just talk to each other.
Yeah.
Which is literally what we do every show, but maybe about more important things. Unless we get any more beef in the chat, I think that's beef. It for us today.
Beef is my second favorite meat.
Solid, concise episode.
You know, we did.
Oh my god. We got to jump to.
Holy cow!
We have Jake 40 and Jake Kinney. Where do you rank Jake 40 and Jake Kinney? How would you rank those two?
You know, give me Jake 40 over Jake Kinney just because this is Jake Kinney's first time on the show. So, like, really,
I do like that he came in strong with a relax.
You know, sometimes, you know, I always, feel for the people who are misunderstood. You know, 9er49, I'm here for you. If you
no, I would still say 9er49.
I know what it's like to get beat up in the comment section. You know, my co-host beats me up
with just a hey, buddy, relax.
Hey.
But very fair. All right, that is it for us today. We will see you guys tomorrow for another full episode of just breaking down the rest of the games that we haven't hit on today.
We'll
see you then.
Yeah, see y'all then.